So today we're making some nice, juicy, spicy meatballs. So let's get into it. So right over here we have our mince. I have a couple of ingredients. So I have my oregano and thyme over here. We have our coriander. And then right here I have some shredded onions and ginger and garlic and a little bit of it from our cayenne peppers. So I'm going to add in some oregano. So about a teaspoon. Then you add in our thyme. Then I have my salt, teaspoon and a half. I have my coriander. So and for the binding, I have bread over here. So this is just a day-old bread. So if you don't have breadcrumbs, you can use your bread. So I'm going to cut off the crust, soak them in this. I really like curd. So if you don't want to use curd, you can use yogurt or just regular milk. So as they are soaking, I want to add my paprika. So this is smoked paprika. Then I have my eggs. That bread has soaked nicely. So now we can go ahead and start mixing. So this is 1 kg of mince, and this is beef, so you can use pork or lamb and even chicken, so whichever you prefer. So I'm now going to mix it with my hand, and then make sure everything is nicely combined. Just apply a little bit of oil, so that prevents the meat from sticking on your hand. So over here you can make them as big as you want or as small as you want them to be. So you just press them and make sure that they are nicely combined so that they don't break when you start cooking them. So you can see the size that I'm going to make. This is like a golf ball. So now our oil is hot. So let's go ahead and start browning our meatballs. So now let's turn our meatballs. You can see that nice color. So now we're going to remove this batch. Go to the side. So we'll finish browning them, then we're going to come back and I'll show you how we make our curry. So now our meatballs are nicely browned. So now we're going to make our curry. So we're using the same pot. And I'm going to put in my red onions. So we are sweating off those onions. And you can see all these bits in our pot. That is going to deglaze in a minute. So now I'm going to add in my ginger and garlic. So we're going to cook these ones for a minute. Cook that rawness from our ginger. So now let's add our spices. So I have my paprika. So half a tablespoon. I have my oregano. Another half. My thyme. Just a little bit. Then I'll go in with my tomato. So this is what's going to deglaze our pan and get all that flavor combined into our base. So add in some water. Then we're going to cover them and let them cook down for a few minutes. So now let's check on our tomatoes. You can see how they've broken down. Just look at that pan, nice and clean. So the water and the tomatoes have deglazed our pan. To add in my curd. So this one will cook down with our tomatoes. And then we're going to add in our meatballs. So now we're going to add in some coriander stems, a little bit of lime zest, some lime juice, then now we're going to add in our meatballs. So just gently, 5 minutes, and then we're going to turn them. So now we'll turn them around and get that other side cooking. So you turn them gently, making sure you don't break them. So another 3 minutes and our meatballs will be ready. So now our meatballs are ready. I'm just going to garnish them with our coriander. And then I have my fresh basil from the garden. So just tear in some basil leaves for freshness and that nice aroma. So now I'll turn off the gas. Let's serve our meatballs. You can just see that nice thick broth. So there we have a nice spicy meatball. And now let's have a taste. If you can just pan, just come closer. And you can see how nice and juicy it is. So now we're going to have a taste. Nice and spicy. So this is an amazing meatball recipe that I urge you to taste. I can taste the spices, the lime, and that curd which tenderizes that meat. That's an amazing meal.